public holiday declared for late Sir Mekere's burial. Okapa Community demand answers. And MOU signed to improve kidney dialysis.
This is National EMTV News with Helen Sayre.
Good evening and thanks for joining us for Tuesday's news. Friday, 8th January 2021 has been sanctioned as a nationwide public holiday for Papua New Guineans to pay their final respects to former Prime Minister late Sir Mekere Marauta. Minister responsible for Sir Mekere's funeral program, Justin Tichenko, says it is the wish of Prime Minister James Marape to set a template going forward where proper respect is given to former Prime Ministers. Late Sir Mekere's state funeral will be held this Friday at the Reverend Sioni Kami Memorial United Church in Port Moresby.
The funeral program for the former Prime Minister is being finalized as the days count down to the time for the burial. Sir Mekere's funeral will be held this Friday from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. at the Sioni Kami Memorial Church, where Sir Mekere has been a member of the United Church. Without releasing much details of the funeral, Minister Tichenko says former Prime Minister and close friend Sir Rabi Namaliu will read out the eulogy, while Prime Minister James Marape will pay tribute to Sir Mekere on behalf of Papua New Guinea.
8th of January will be a nationwide public holiday. This has been sanctioned by the Prime Minister and is being gazetted so that the whole country can mourn and can pay their last respects wherever they are for the late Sir Mekere Marauta. This is now setting a precedent and a template for future state funerals going on into the future. This is about now setting the new protocols and the new programs and the new working template for us to go by for future events such like this.
Sir Mekere died from a long illness while receiving treatment in Australia. He was the sitting member for Moresby Northwest Electorate at the time of his passing. His body was repatriated to Papua New Guinea last Thursday, escorted by wife Lady Roslyn and son James Mekere. Members of Parliament, including PNG's founding father, Sir Michael Somare, were all present to bid farewell to a leader that many has described as a renowned reformist. The former Prime Minister's casket laid in state at the Grand Hall at the National Parliament House yesterday, and the public was given the opportunity to pay their final respects. However, it was the family's request to have the casket remained closed.
Basically, Independence Hill will be a graveyard, or physical planning will make that a graveyard site where all our former Prime Ministers will be buried. And we thank the family of late Sir Mekere Marauta for their understanding and their wisdom in allowing Sir Mekere to be buried there at Independence Hill.
Those expected to attend the state funeral this Friday include all members of Parliament, both former and current, close associates, family and friends. Sir Mekere's burial site is now 70% completed, and he will be laid to rest at the Independence Hill in Port Moresby, 20 meters away from where former Prime Minister Sir William Skate was buried. Theklagunga, National EMTV News.
Taking off without a section of the left wing resulted in the crash of the plane carrying cocaine at Papua just outside Port Moresby. A final report was released by the Accident Investigation Commission. The report also did not discard overweight, balance or center of gravity issues due to improper loading as factors contributing to the crash.
The Chief Commissioner of the PNG Accident Investigation Commission, Hubert Namani, in a statement, provided a brief of the results of the investigation into this plane crash. The Cessna 402C aircraft, after departing Maribi, Australia on the 26th of July, tracked towards an uncommissioned field near Papua. As it approached to land, the outboard section of the left wing was clipped by a tree and separated from the aircraft. The report states that the pilot, however, continued on with the approach and landed at about 12:20 p.m. on that day. Once landed, the aircraft was refueled and loaded with cargoes, which later was found to be cocaine. After 20 minutes, the plane was ready to take off and the pilot commenced the takeoff roll. But as it lifted, he noticed that the airspeed indicator was not working and that the aircraft was not achieving a positive rate of climb. The pilot then maneuvered the aircraft back towards the ground and touched down 400 meters before the end of the field, a distance that was insufficient for the aircraft to make a complete stop, thus continuing its landing roll into the bushes and impacting trees until it got to its final position. The report also stated that overweight, balance and gravity issues due to improper loading of cargoes also contributed to the inability of the aircraft to obtain a positive rate of climb during takeoff. Interestingly, the report made mention that the fire to the left wing and the engine was a deliberate post-accident. This means the left wing and the engine was deliberately set on fire by unknown persons and is a subject of investigation by the police. Additionally, AIC determined that the aircraft was unworthy at the time of travel. Ruth Rungula, National EMTV News.
A local community in the Okapa area of Eastern Highlands have questioned the research carried out in their communities in the 1950s. Spokesperson Pala Honikave told EMTV News the Kuru research was a cover-up to extract human body parts to the United States and other parts of the world. Honikave is calling on the government and relevant state agencies to intervene and assist investigate the matter.
To realize justice.
Pala Honikave visited the EMTV office recently, speaking openly about what he claims to be an exercise carried out under the pretext of medical research in the 1950s. He says those who led the research killed over 7,000 locals and extracted body parts to laboratories in the US, Australia and England. Honikave believes human rights have been violated under the name of research and fame.
Medical scientists, particularly undercover military scientists, only come to place and then they come purposely to hunt and collect viruses, now all biological agents, building up biological warfare capability belong USA.
The Kuru research was a medical research claiming to dig into the disorientation of functions of the brain, an incurable brain disease unique to Papua New Guinea. It's a disease centered to solving the mysteries of the brain. Honikave claims those heading the research must be held responsible.
So that's our grievance. That's the crime we are trying to address now. The government of USA, Australia, England, for the last 20 years now, they are still apprehensive and silent. People give more demands after demands. People give opinions through the US Embassy. People addressing me go since 2010.
The Kuru research was headed by Dr. Carlton Kasdusdek and Michael Halpers with the help of others. The research was awarded a Nobel Prize in 1976. Honikave and his people formed the Kuru Foundation and have documented key witness statements.
We've done our research. We've taken up to more than 20 years of research on our hands now. We have all this information which conclusively confirms that they committed a unprecedented human rights criminality and they are still walking around free.
Pala Honikave wants justice for his people. He believes human rights were violated. He has written 2 books and hopes to publish them one day.
We've written 2 books, which is now in transcript. And the title of the first book is American Jungle Lab in New Guinea. And the second book is Blood in the Nobel Prize. These books will be published to pursue the cause of securing justice.
Jack Lopava Jr., National EMTV News.
You're watching National EMTV News. We'll be back with more stories after these messages. Stay with us. Welcome back. Port Moresby General Hospital has partnered with PNG Kidney Foundation to improve kidney dialysis in the country. A memorandum of understanding signed between the two entities today paves way for PNG Kidney Foundation to manage the kidney dialysis program at the hospital with their expertise. This partnership will ensure all kidney patients get the right treatment within the country instead of traveling to other countries for treatment.
This Memorandum of Understanding paves way for PNG Kidney Foundation to manage the kidney dialysis facilities at Port Moresby General Hospital. PNG Kidney Foundation will be using its expertise and machines to train nurses and kidney specialists at the hospital. This is to ensure all kidney patients are treated in the country.
We want to expand this partnership forward, meaning that they will bring their expertise in looking after reverse osmosis plant and looking after the machines to support Port Moresby General Hospital in those expertise that we don't have. So today's sign-in is to move in that direction, where we will utilize the expertise of Kidney Foundation.
PNG Kidney Foundation has been in the country for over 11 years. With their vision to help kidney patients in the country, they have supported the hospital with kidney dialysis machines, with plans for more machines to be used at the kidney facility. They have also trained nurses and doctors and kidney specialists in the country. With this partnership, there are also plans to establish an intensive care unit for kidney patients and to build more kidney facilities in other parts of the country.
And the services will be start. I think we have agreed that we will start the program on March, and I think dialysis service can be done by April or May. Thanks to the space that provided by PNG has, that will enable us to have a wider patients care and a bigger number of patients that.
Port Moresby General Hospital is one of the biggest referral hospitals in the country, with more patients coming in for treatment. However, funding has always been a problem. They have partnered with various organizations to improve cancer treatment at the hospital, and they are calling for more partnership to help improve services at the hospital to ensure patients get the best treatment in the country.
But alone, we are not able to provide this kind of services. So in the last 2 years, through the board and the management, we've decided to go out looking for partners to join us to deliver some of these specialized services. Specialized services in cardiac.
Rayon Lakingu, National EMTV News.
Mead Provincial Hospital has recorded 74 deliveries during the festive period, despite manpower shortages and other challenges faced. Acting Nursing Unit Manager, Sister Margaret Muya, says 64 babies were born in the Christmas period, while 10 babies joined their families on New Year.
The Mead Provincial Hospital's obstetric ward had been very busy during the Christmas and New Year period with no obstetrical emergencies. All 74 babies were born healthy, including a baby boy born on Christmas weighing 4.43 kg.
That's the baby from Christmas baby. And we have a New Year baby male with 4 kg.
Muyaga says each year the number of deliveries at the ward increases as the number of admissions rise. There was no emergency medevac done during the Christmas and New Year.
And we usually have medevac in the previous months, but as of this festive periods, they were we didn't receive any medevac from there as emergencies, and other referrals as emergencies. They were referred according to protocols coming here, but they all were delivered just normal deliveries. They were managed by the nurses and the medical persons very well.
The obstetric ward also needs more nursing officers and midwives to counter the increasing number of admissions that go to the hospital every day and not just on special dates. For now, they have 10 midwives, 6 community health workers, a nursing officer, and 2 midwives working as support staff.
We actually had issues with manpower, our staff strength here. The workloads are there. Some of the good nursing care that we should provide to the mothers are not met to the standard, but we managed to prioritize which care we should prioritize in giving attention to the most prioritized priority care that we supposed to give, and we are less give the best care, especially to the mothers they delivered already. Like most of that, less attention is given to them. Then the mothers laboring, we plan for them, making sure that they delivered well with their babies.
The ward has only 5 delivery beds and 30 hospital beds to house mothers with their newborn babies. 6 of the 30 beds are reserved for nursing mothers with preterm babies under nursery. The poor drainage and backflow of water into the labour ward is still a concern for the staff at the ward. PHA CEO Fidelis Waimpa, in an interview with EMTV last November, explained they had engaged a contractor to fix the drainage and that work will start in last November. However, we are now in January and work has yet to start. Martha Lewis, National EMTV News, Mead.
PNG NID held a workshop today at the Gateway Hotel for the 100 students who volunteered to ease backloads of NID applications. Acting Deputy Registrar Salome Bogosia says statistics and data throughout the world is a big issue and calls for the nation to understand the importance of data.
PNG NID anticipates to involve 2,000 people to meet the target of registering 4.2 million citizens by the end of this year. 112 students from secondary and tertiary institutions who volunteered attended a workshop in preparation for the PNG NID volunteer program. This program will go on for the next 2 months with the aim to ease backlog of certificates and NID registration dating back to 2015.
We have a lot of volunteers, but we could only take 112. We have 99 present with us today. So given the, we probably might call additional volunteers to join the program going forward.
Since the rollout of the NID program in 2015, Papua New Guineans have come to realize the importance of having a NID card. However, many who have registered are still yet to collect their NID cards.
From the statistics that we've been getting and from the feedback of people's perception to national ID, I think it's improved over time. Initially, people were just getting used to the idea of having a national identity, and it's something that they had to learn because of our culture. And so over time, people have come to realize the value of having a national ID.
Being a government-funded program, NID Policy Manager Nicholas Pielka is calling out to provincial districts to partner with the NID office.
So going forward, we are still waiting for districts to come forward and partner with us, because we can't do it alone. We need provinces and districts to come and partner with us so we can go to the people.
For these students, the volunteer work is for their work experience. Esther Thailam, National EMTV News.
An agroforestry project is expected to set the pace and a way forward in the year 2021 for the people of Murua in the Gulf province. The project is, however, soon to be set on what used to be disputed land, and the Gulf provincial government is looking into identifying who the rightful landowners the project site belongs to.
Executives of an incorporated land group, Maraivo ILG, have come forward to claim their rights over the soon-to-be agroforestry project site in Murua Gulf province, stating that they are the rightful landowners and have all the necessary documents on hand to prove that the land is theirs. Their right to claim comes after an article was published last December in one of the daily papers, making reference to a call made by the chairman of the Gulf Project Advisory Committee to identify the landowners before starting the project.
We own Murua, okay? It's a Maraivo Incorporated Land Group. We own that one, so we are here to raise this provincial Government Identification Advisory Committee, chaired by Minister Tai, is going to identify the landowners. Maybe this year, we don't know when it's going to be, this month or next month. So it just focus on interest of our land. So we are here to tell the people of Central Kerma and the Gulf Province that we are the principal landowners here. The question of who owns, our land is Murua land. Murua is our land.
Okay.
So we thought this was an opportunity to introduce those provincial government officials who are involved in this, make it easy for them that we are the principal landowners.
The executive said they are not against any projects set to take place on the project site, but would like to be consulted upon, and that their focus is on the interest of the land. They would like equal participation in the project.
If the project is viable, fitting landowner, everybody, we can say yes, but if the project is belongs to 1%, we will not allow it.
Additionally, highlighting the resumption of rubber tapping in Gulf that falls under Maraivo ILG's prerogative. The executives are calling for the land to be returned back to the people.
There was a portion 137, 134 portion Murua subdivision, 500 hectares of land being used during colonial time. And we want Maraivo's, now we reaches our land, so we want to take back our land.
Oh, okay.
Because when we look at the environmental problem, we should reserve our forest. We want agriculture to go in. Agro farming is good for Murua.
And that they will not allow any logging or forestry on that piece of land. And at Kora, National EMTV News.
And now looking at the NASFund market report, the Kina opened unchanged at $0.2850 in the interbank market this morning. At Bank South Pacific, your Kina will buy $0.2775 $0.3558 Australian dollars, $0.3964 New Zealand dollars, and 27.96 Japanese yen. Looking at commodity prices at New York close, gold is trading higher, coffee and cocoa closed higher, copper closed lower. Palm oil closed higher, crude oil is trading higher, and copper closed lower. And on the stock market, the Dow Jones closed higher, the ASX 200 is trading higher, and the All Ordinaries is trading higher. And Chukai Sports is next. Fiddly Sukina will join you with all the details after the break. Stay with us.
Chukai Sports.
Good night and welcome to Chukai Sports. After testing the player market in a desperate effort to improve the squad that claimed the 2020 wooden spoon in the NRL, Brisbane Broncos have announced yesterday the signing of Kumul number 227, David Mead.
The wooden spoon claimants of 2020 season are looking to better the reach this season, with Coach Walters having high expectations from the squad.
This year, like many other years, we want to make sure that our old boys are looked after. More importantly, the playing group, that they're doing everything that's expected of them when they put that Broncos jersey on.
With a team that was nubbed in the last season as lacking the touch of experience, and with the bulk of the team being young, Coach Walters believes in what the Kumul number 227 can bring in.
We've got a lot of good young players coming through, and David is one of these players that can help nurture their training habits, their playing habits. He's a very experienced player.
3 years with the Catalans in France have been remarkable, according to the coach. The 32-year-old David Mead scored 28 tries in 57 appearances since arriving at the Catalans from NRL. Mead played 147 games with Titans between 2009 and 2016 before playing for the Broncos for one season. His NRL debut was in 2009. In the same year, he was part of the PNG squad squad for the 2009 Pacific Cup, in which he was named the PNG Player of the Year by the Rugby League International Federation. The Papua New Guinean international isn't expected to have much impact on the Broncos' budget and will offer plenty of speed out wide for a young Broncos side. Kilawani, Trukai Sports.
The men's national football team will be preparing for their World Cup qualification campaign this year. The train-on squad was named last year and divided into two teams, PNG Black and PNG Red. The teams are expected to go into camp early this year in preparation for the FIFA World Cup 2022. Selection will be played in June 2021. Last year, the men's national football team train-on squad was named. The players were all from the 2019-2020 season of the Kumul Petroleum National Soccer League. While the team has been named, they are yet to assemble for camp. The train-on squad has been split into two teams, PNG Black and PNG Red. The two teams will play a best-of-3 series and a likelihood of a friendly with Solomon Islands in preparation for the qualifiers in June.
Plan for 3 matches for them, these two teams to play each other. Because of COVID and also international friendly is very difficult. So only one from Solomon is requesting to come here. But these two teams will play maybe a match in Ley, one in here, and finish off in Ley. And then the final squad is announced. And not very far, because June they have to travel to Fiji or New Zealand to play for the World Cup qualifier. So that's only those two teams that will be fighting for the sport.
President of PNGFA John Capinato says the players picked for the train-on squad are a good mixture of youth and experience and will form the basis of the future of the men's national team, adding that most of the senior players are heading toward the end of their international playing career.
The selectors that have made the team, I think they're looking at the blending of the team together so that our main goal is looking at 2026 also, because that's 1.5 sport given to Oceania. Right now, we don't have a 1.5 sport. It's one direct entry. So we want to build this youth together with the senior players. Most of them, 2022 is their last. I don't think most of them will carry on.
Capinato added that with the recent suspension of a number of senior players in the men's national team, there will be measures put in place to monitor players' discipline and conduct. Going
forward, our regulations are going to be tough. Before going to an event, whether they're camping or whilst going out, we got to be very, very strict. We got to be very, very tough, because we want to get our country to win something. And the players must understand too. It starts within them. If we are putting our time and resources and finance and everything upon these players, they got to give back what we've given to them. Because football is something, it's a very competitiveness out there. So we want to go out and we want to win.
Trukai Sports continues after the break. Don't go away.
Trukai Sports.
And welcome back to Trukai Sports. In a post on social media, Governor's Cup Tournament Director Simon Nuabo informed the general public and the 4 teams that qualified for the semi-finals and that their matches have been postponed to Thursday, 7th of January. Huxley Lovai with more.
Simon Nuabo, the architect of the Governor's Cup, acknowledged and thanked the 48 teams who participated in this year's competition. Nuabo congratulated the 4 teams who qualified for the semi-finals and thanked them for their patience as the organizing committee rescheduled the playoffs to this Thursday, while the grand final is slated for Sunday, 10th of January. The final 4 teams contesting the semi-finals are QPR Colts, who will take on Toks Mafuka Eels, while Savaga South Brothers will face Mapex GH Eagles. The NCD Governor's Cup is an annual event initiated for all suburbs, settlements and villages and organized off-season leagues in the city to select the best players as they compete in the Cup. Huxley Lovai, Trukai Sports.
And that story wraps up Trukai Sports. The weather forecast for the next 24 hours when we come back. Bye for now.
Trukai Sports. Trukai Sports.
This weather update is proudly brought to you by MoniPlus, with you always.
A look at the weather forecast for this evening and tonight in the southern region. Partly cloudy with possible evening rain showers and thunder in Port Moresby. Cloudy with rain drizzles at times in Daru. Cloudy with a few evening showers in Popondetta and Kerama. And mostly fine weather in Alotau. In the Mamasa region, partly cloudy with evening showers and drizzles in Late. Fine though, partly cloudy with evening showers and drizzles in Medang. Partly cloudy with evening showers and drizzles and possible thunder in Wewak and Vanimo. In the New Guinea Islands region, mostly fine weather in Kokoporabao, Lorengau, Kimbe and Kavieng, and cloudy with a few showers in Bukau. And in the Highlands region, rain showers and possible thunderstorms in Mount Hagen, light rain drizzles in Goroka, Kundiawa, Mendi and Wabeg.
The weather update was proudly brought to you by MoniPlus, with you always.
And that's been the news, sport and weather for today, Tuesday, the 5th of January 2021. On behalf of all of us here at EMTV, pleasant viewing. Good night.